And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Sands Hotel proudly presents the star of our show, direct from the bar.
This is the Ford Show. Welcome to it. Can you believe we are exactly a week away from Thanksgiving?
I can believe that we're a week away. Christmas will be here in about a month.
Let's not talk about Christmas.
Jingle bells, jingle bell. I like Christmas music.
Let's begin the show. Let's get the show on the road. Okay, we're a little discombobulated. I only have X amount of time as long as my computer can keep us going. My laptop here. Thank God I brought the laptop, Joey Vegas, so there would be no show.
There'd be no show because next week I am out of town next week, so you might be doing a show by yourself.
Yeah, I was going to do a little something mainly for the Patreon folks, but yeah, Joey Vegas is going on yet another cruise. This is what you do. You only go on cruises, apparently.
You went on a cruise, and I heard some good stories other than you getting sick. So I was like, you know what? I want to go on a cruise and get sick.
So where are you headed? I guess we'll open up with that. You get the humble brag about where you're going on vacation while the rest of civilization goes to work.
For a couple days, then you get to spend 4 days or so with your family, which for you, it's not too many people. But for me, it's nobody because I'll be in Mexico, going to Cabo San Lucas.
Who's the cruise line?
Carnival.
Do you have the drink package? Are you just going to be drunk the whole time?
Oh, I definitely have the drink package.
Okay. Do you have the food package you're going to eat while you're on this?
I mean, the food's included.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. We are going to the steakhouse the first night. So that's an extra charge, $50 a person.
But when you have it, like you have it.
What do you mean?
Meaning, financially, when you have it the way that you have it, you can do steakhouses every night.
Not every night, just the first night. Because we get a free bottle of wine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah. So we're free bottle of wine, and for $50, everybody's that's $50. Yeah, but I can get a filet, and a couple sides, and it's $50. This isn't $50 for your steak, $10 for your mashed potatoes.
It's $50 all in.
$50 all in. You get appetizer, you get your steak, you get dessert.
And the cruise line was Princess?
Carnival.
I
have gone on Princess.
You're a princess.
I am a princess.
That's why I thought it may have been Princess.
Yes, and I have went on Princess cruises before, but this one is Carnival, which also owns Princess.
Go to Ford Podcast on TikTok to watch this clip that I'm about to mention. But now the TikTok that I'm referring to is me saying it's a freak show fight, and you boldly going where no man has ever gone before, talking about how it's going to be a great fight and it's going to be this, that, and the other thing, and you're so excited and you can't wait. And I'm going to give you the opportunity first before I give my little synopsis on what we watched last Friday. I'm going to give you the opportunity to either stand by that statement that you made in the TikTok, or you can walk it back, but I'm going to allow you to go first.
It was the greatest 16 minutes I've experienced outside
of sexual
relationships.
Yeah, you must be comparing that to maybe prison sex.
No prison sex here. No, it was great.
What are you comparing this to? It's not a great fight.
No, it was a great fight, but I definitely think Tyson. So I think I know what happened. So
here we go.
Tyson came out. He was punching. He was ready to go. Then what happened is they got tied up.
Yeah.
And you could see Logan Paul mouth something to him.
Jake Paul.
Whatever. I don't care.
Maybe Logan mouthed something. But
yeah. No, Jake Paul hugs him like boxers do.
Yeah.
And he said, easy. So
easy, big fella.
After that,
you went easy on him.
No, nothing happened.
Okay.
Literally hardly any. And you could see Tyson pulling his punches. So Tyson was going to knock his ass out. All right. And Jake was like, no, dude. No.
I don't see
We're fine. Because I'll tell you that, because if Jake Paul got his ass kicked and it knocked out, he would be done.
I don't think Tyson had the legs to knock him out.
Oh, he did. The leg
looked like a baby giraffe.
Yeah, his legs didn't look great, but
No.
he's also a 58-year-old man.
It's exactly why the
But-
fight shouldn't have happened.
No, because if Tyson would have knocked him out, Jake Paul would have been done.
Yeah.
Tyson got $20 million. Jake Paul got 40.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones got millions to have it at Jerry's World.
Yeah.
73,000 people
Only
sat in that
I
arena.
think 60,000 paid.
Doesn't matter.
Oh no, I'm just saying. I think
Doesn't
I'm
matter.
just saying. I think.
But even 60,000. But
paid.
even 60,000. That's why you didn't have it in Vegas.
No, you didn't have it in Vegas because the Nevada Athletic Commission would not approve the fight.
Wow.
Because no state other than Texas would approve this fight because it was a freak show fight that should have never happened. So here, this is how I felt watching not only the Tyson Paul fight, but just the night in general. And you kept hearing this throughout the broadcast. What a great night for boxing. What a great night for boxing. But was it really a great night for boxing? I mean, really. Because maybe in a vacuum for one night, it was a great night. But boxing is that one sport where millions of people will come together on a Friday or a Saturday night and watch it. And then by Monday, it's the last thing on people's minds. These great nights, quote unquote, great nights, they don't lead to booms. They don't lead to bigger business.
I mean, they did in the 90s.
It's a sport that's become too convoluted. No one knows the champions. This Katie Taylor chick comes out. Her entourage, they're carrying 6 titles. Nobody knows what those titles are. Nobody knows what those titles mean. And
there are too many titles. That's true.
And how can it be a really great night for boxing if you walk away from that event with the poor taste in your mouth from the Tyson Paul snooze fest?
I'll tell you why. Because people wanted this to be a boxing match. It started out the first 2 rounds in a boxing match. And then it became Jake not wanting to get hurt. And Tyson understanding that they're friends. It was all a work to begin with.
It's all a work.
Okay, Tyson, you could tell Tyson was ready.
It was a worked shoot.
He was in the ring, and the adrenaline came, and he got back into this prime shape in the 90s and ready to go.
Died quick.
Yes, because Jake said no more.
By round 3, it was.
And you heard Tyson's corner, I believe, in one said that they didn't mean to do, but you could hear him. He's, okay, man, we're almost done. Let's just get this over with and get paid. They didn't give a shit about anybody else. They cared about the money. They cared about Jake Paul winning. It was all meant for Jake Paul to win no matter what. And so Tyson had to start pulling his punches, and yes, his legs looked weak because he didn't care anymore.
I don't think I see it. We could go back and forth all night. The bottom line is that fight was a sham.
Yeah, it was.
Freak show fights are like that, though. Don't put real money on freak show fights. I saw so much money. It was the most bet fight ever. And I'm thinking, and 67% of the money was on Tyson. And I'm like,
because
how
he was plus 220 or something.
How can you bet real money on a freak show fight? This is your lesson for all the people that lost money on this fight. Don't bet on freak show fights, because this is why a lot of people are angry. Oh, Tyson didn't do this, and because it was a freak show fight. It wasn't meant to be taken seriously. So why are you betting money on something that's not taken seriously?
Well, but it is taken seriously.
It
because
wasn't.
If it wasn't
Did
taken,
you watch the fight?
Because if it wasn't,
that was not taken seriously.
If it wasn't taken seriously, there'd be lawsuits right now.
There is
in Vegas.
I have a lawsuit right here.
Yeah.
In my hand.
No, to Netflix. I'm talking about to the bookies in Vegas. Because if Vegas took money on a worked fight, that's illegal.
See, but
you can't do it.
But okay.
So if they ever find
worked,
out,
but see, hold on, they worked it without. They'll never admit it. There's too much money involved. But it was a worked shoot fight. And for those of you that don't know, worked shoot, what are you guys talking about? Okay, so let me say it in language everybody can see. It was as close to a real staged fight as you could possibly get. Neither one of those guys was trying to knock out the other one. Plain and simple.
Tyson was in the first 2 rounds.
I don't buy it. I think Tyson knew he didn't have the legs to knock him out. Even in the first 2 rounds, he did not have the legs because he's 58. But yes, there is a lawsuit. A Florida man has filed a class action lawsuit against Netflix over the poor streaming quality that affected millions during the widely viewed boxing fight between former heavyweight champion Mike Tyson and Jake Paul last Friday. Ronald Blue Denton is a resident of Hillsborough County, Florida, alleged that the streaming giant was guilty of breach of contract over the frequent glitches. Now, I only experienced one buffer, and that was when Tyson was coming to the ring. So I did not have the problems that a lot of other people had. The class action lawsuit filed in Florida State Court is seeking damages of $50 million.
That's a little much.
You want to talk about a cash grab?
Yes, for this guy.
I'm never gonna call anything a cash grab ever again, unless it's as egregious as this. You are just watching something on stream. You didn't even have to pay extra money for this. And your answer is filing a lawsuit on Monday? I don't understand. Who cares? It wasn't even a good fight. Ronald Blue Denton, who gives a fuck if the stream buffered? Who cares? You didn't pay for the fight.
But he did.
You're already getting Netflix, clearly.
He might have signed up just for that fight.
60 million Americans were hyped to see Iron Mike Tyson, the baddest man on the planet. And it turns out it was the baddest streaming on the planet, the lawsuit claims. It was alleged that many viewers missed portions of the fight due to the interruptions. Who cares? Netflix customers experienced massive streaming issues and should have known better because it's happened before. They were woefully ill-prepared, citing over 100,000 people complaining online. The lawsuit claimed that boxing fans, along with the average American wanting to see a legend in what was most likely be, I hope, his last fight, were faced with legendary problems, including no access, streaming glitches, and buffering issues. During the bout, many viewers took to social media to express their frustrations with streaming and buffering problems before and during the fight. According to the website Down Detector, nearly 85,000 viewers logged problems with outages or streaming leading up to the fight. The fight was 8 2-minute rounds as opposed to the normal 3-minute, 10 or 12 of most pro fights that aren't freak show fights. Paul won by unanimous decision because Tyson only landed 6 punches for the whole damn thing. Netflix said Saturday the bout was watched by a worldwide audience of 60 million and peaked at 65 million concurrent streams. 50 million households were turned in for the co-main event, which saw Katie Taylor and her 9 titles that nobody knows about, and Amanda Serrano, in which Taylor kept her undisputed super light heavyweight championship with another disputed decision. Netflix said it would provide additional viewership information, including total viewers this coming week. Yada, yada, yada. It's a stretch.
He has a point.
Okay? Suing Netflix is a stretch.
The lawsuit has merit. What doesn't have
this is stupid.
What doesn't have
it's a waste of resources.
What doesn't have merit is the $50 million. Okay? Netflix for sure should give everybody that had a Netflix account
and was trying to watch it,
regardless if they were trying to watch it, 1 month credit. That's it. And because they fucked up. You are paying for a service, and your service did not work. I wasn't
offended at all by it.
Your service did not work. If you think WWE is going to have Raw on Netflix, that's going to be a joke.
No.
It will be.
It will not be a joke. I'll tell you why.
Because
I'll tell you why.
You're telling me that a multi-billion-dollar company couldn't have the servers for this?
I will tell you, and again, I only had one issue. So
I know.
But I'll tell you this.
Had an issue.
Here is the difference. Netflix should be more worried about the Christmas Day games in the NFL. Raw is not going to get 65 million concurrent viewers one time on Netflix. They'll be lucky if it's 4 million. So, in fact, they would probably be ecstatic if it was 4 million. Their real problem is going to be the NFL games on Christmas, because that should do about 50 million, 45 million, somewhere. Because on TV, it would probably do about 30, 35, maybe 40 million on Christmas. So that's what they should really be fearful for. Monday Night Raw is going to be a cakewalk compared to the traffic of the Tyson Paul.
Either way, he has merit to
I don't think he
sue
does.
them.
I think it's silly.
No, I mean, because he paid for a service. Regardless, people paid money,
I know,
whether it's
but
$7
you can
for
watch
ads.
it right. It's not. This isn't 1989 pay-per-view.
Doesn't
Like you
matter.
could watch it right afterwards.
But that doesn't matter. You paid to see it live.
But this shit happens.
Yes, and it shouldn't.
How was his life affected? Did he die? Did he lose a loved one? In the big scheme of things, he lost nothing.
In the big scheme of things, some lady poured hot coffee on herself. Didn't really hurt her life, but she won $10 million from McDonald's because there was no warning label. So don't tell me that he can't win this lawsuit.
He's not going to win this.
If enough people sign up, Netflix will settle out of court and everybody will get $50 and that'll be happy.
I hope not.
I
Because
hope so.
I don't think they should pay
'cause
at
you
all.
You need to hold those assholes at Netflix accountable. They fucked up. You knew this fight was coming. It got fucking postponed once. So you knew it was coming. You boost your servers and don't have a fucking problem. Solves the problem. Give us all money back for a month. Give us $15 credit on everybody's account that had Netflix at the time.
Do you even pay for Netflix?
I did. I paid for this specific fight. I paid $6.99.
Oh, that's what you paid?
Yeah, because I knew there wasn't going to be ads on it.
I already have a Netflix account. I don't know what we pay for it.
I just paid $6.99 for 1 month. That was it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you didn't have Netflix before this going in?
I mean, I did, but not going in. I don't use Netflix.
Okay. And then did you have any problems?
No, I mean, I only watched the Tyson fight. I didn't watch
That
anything
was
before
where
that.
I mean there were some problems during the Tyson fight. But
And the biggest screw job was Serrano. She won clearly.
did you lose any viewing time?
Other than when the lowrider was coming out, there was some issues. It skipped.
See, it didn't skip for me there. It only skipped for me when Tyson came out.
Yeah, when the lowrider came out, when Paul came out, it skipped a little
But
bit.
hopefully America can stop buying into these freak show fights, because the only way they'll stop is if you stop watching them. And I think that now that the Tyson thing is done, I don't think there's no more freak show fights that are going to be be of any value to anybody. This was the last freak show fight.
No, if Jake fights Conor McGregor in an MMA ring or a boxing ring, that won't draw. I don't think this much, but it'll draw. And then if Paul actually fights a boxer,
No, see,
he's not going to, because he'll get his ass kicked.
No, but I think it was only to this level, this magnitude. I'm talking about 65 million people.
Yeah.
This was it. Nothing's going to come this close. Even if he fights Canelo, not going to be 60 million people are not going to watch that.
No, because Canelo's going to wipe the floor.
Well, yeah, not only that, but it's just Canelo is not the same name as Mike Tyson. This was a Mike Tyson view. This was not
correct.
a Jake Paul view.
But Canelo's was the biggest thing going for a while.
If the fight happens, I'll bet you. I'll bet you. I'll bet you $500 to your $50 that it doesn't come anywhere near 60 million people.
But see, you know why they tuned in? Not only for Tyson, but they tuned in to see Jake Paul get his ass kicked. So if Canelo's going to fight Jake Paul, they will fight.
Not 60 million. Not even anywhere.
Maybe not
it won't
60
even
million.
be close. It won't even be. No other Jake Paul fight has ever gotten this close.
But they've also all been in pay-per-view. They haven't been free. If it's free on a subscription, sure, you're going to get more. If this was pay-per-view, your views would have been 4 million, because nobody in their right mind would have paid $80 for this fucking fight.
You sounded like you would have.
Yeah. So
I think I just whacked my microphone.
You probably did. Yeah. I mean, Canelo Alvarez's last fight only did 650,000 pay-per-view buys, which is decent for pay-per-view buys. But if it's
didn't
on
even hit 1 million.
Yeah, but you're buying it on pay-per-view for $70. There's a difference between paying $7 for a month and getting Netflix for a month and watching a boxing fight.
I still don't think.
Or NFL bullshit, because that's another bullshit that NFL's on fucking Netflix.
I still don't think that Jake Paul versus anybody else comes anywhere near that 60 million. It's just not going to happen.
I mean, if it's on Netflix, then we'll see. But if it's on pay-per-view, you can't compare apples to oranges.
I keep hitting this microphone.
Because you're new.
It's my first time.
Yeah.
You just check the watch. What time is it? An Atlanta mom who killed her 2 sons will spend the rest of her life behind bars. Have you heard this story? A sick Atlanta mother slowly cooked her 2 toddler sons alive in an oven and then sent their father harrowing footage of their bodies, has been sentenced to spend the rest of her life behind bars. Lamora Williams knowingly and intentionally stuffed her 2 young boys, Keontae Penn, who was 2, and Jakarta Williams, who was 1, inside of an oven and turned it on in their home in October of 2017, killing them both, according to police who found the dead boys severely burned. The then 24-year-old single mom lied to a dispatcher, claiming to have come home to find her kids dead and their caregiver missing. She said, quote, "When I came in, the stove was lying on my son, on my youngest son's head, and my other son was laid out on the floor with his brains out on the floor. Can you please tell me I don't want to get locked up because this is not my fault. I had just come home from work," she continued. Williams also called the boy's father, Jamil Penn, and showed him live video of the grisly crime scene, including the children lying lifeless on the floor. He frantically called 911 at roughly the same time as the children's mother. It was like a real horror movie, the dad told WSB-TV days after. It was Friday the 13th. Williams had pleaded not guilty, shocker, and maintained her innocence, more shock. However, a jury on Friday found her guilty of 14 charges, including felony murder, cruelty to children, and giving false statements. As she was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus 35 more years. So she will never see free light ever again. Williams' mother, Brenda Williams, said that her daughter had a long history, get this, of mental illness and believed she just, quote, snapped, end quote, following her breakup with Penn. She was placed on suicide watch in custody. You should just let her do it. Williams' sister, Tabitha Hollingsworth, previously told WSB-TV the children's deaths were preventable. This was something we saw that could possibly happen, Hollingsworth said in 2017. She's had issues from a baby, issues my mom tried to address with the state of Georgia. So, Joey Vegas, this is a prime story for bringing back the guillotine. We should just chop this bitch's head off.
No, we shouldn't.
Why not? She cooked her children.
I'm not saying she doesn't deserve to die. She doesn't deserve to die so quick. She needs to be burned alive.
We should stick her in the oven.
Stick her in the oven.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about like the ovens that the Nazis used to kill the Jews, right? I'm not talking about millions and millions of degrees that they die quickly. I'm talking about this chick needs to be in there for 2 hours, 3 hours, and just roast like a fucking turkey and die.
Why should she be shown any kind of consideration?
None. Don't put her on suicide watch. Let her hang herself.
Let her go.
Actually, you know what? Don't even hang herself. Just kill her. Have a guard go up and go bam, and then she won't even see it coming. It's dead. See ya.
Why are we trying to protect this woman?
Why do we not have death penalty for fucking people like this?
I mean, if you kill your own children, again, like we have said on this show numerous times, right? We have a mental health issue in this country. You are more likely to die by somebody you know than by a stranger. This woman killed her 2 toddler children. She should not be allowed to live anymore.
She put them in the oven, locked the fucking door on the oven, I'm assuming. And then, first of all, the first giveaway is she comes home and says, yeah, I don't know what happened, but it wasn't me. I didn't do it. First of all,
I don't want to get in trouble.
I don't want to get in trouble. Because I didn't do nothing.
There it is. Can you please tell me I don't want to get locked up because this is not my fault. I had just come home from work.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but if you came home to your kids dead on the floor with brains, gruesome fucking scene.
Yeah. And you didn't do it.
and you didn't do it, you wouldn't tell the dispatcher, hey, I didn't do this. Your first thought wouldn't be to try to defend yourself. The first thing you would be like, oh my God, my kids, you would be freaking out.
Oh, yeah, you'd be in full panic.
Full panic.
Full panic.
But she's like, I mean, I didn't do this,
said,
man.
Michael.
Like, I didn't do this, man. No, you did it, and you deserve to get cooked alive.
They should just kill her.
They should.
There should be no... She killed her own children.
By putting them in the oven, that takes a little bit of time to cook someone in the oven alive, I would assume. Because burning alive is the worst way to die, people say.
And I love how the sister's like, she just snapped. Like, no shit.
And then it said it could have been preventable in 2017.
Of course, because they went to the state of Georgia and the states don't know how to handle anything.
No. Hey, you should take her kids away because she's fucked up. Yeah, we'll get to it in 30 years. And then, the kids, yeah, you know what? We did see that coming. We probably could have done something, but we don't have enough money because our state resources are going to illegal immigrants.
We have Vegas's picks coming up here as well as he looks to continue his pretty strong season record here picking NFL games. It's the thumbnail for this show for this week. And I think it's worthy of a discussion. Now, I don't remember. I remember we were doing FFS for fuck's sake in 2020 when JK Rowling went on Twitter. At the time, it was Twitter. Now it's X. And said some things that got her in some heat with the transgender community. Mm-hmm. And HBO is coming out with a Harry Potter TV series. I'm assuming it's going to be on Max, would be my guess. And they are including JK Rowling, as they should. They're her characters. And according to Variety, HBO said today in a statement, JK Rowling has a right to express her personal views. We remain focused on the development of the new series, which will only benefit from her involvement, which is 110% correct. So, Joey Vegas, what kind of surprised me and why I thought it was interesting to talk about is JK Rowling has somehow avoided being canceled in a time where everybody seems to get canceled for speaking their mind, whatever their opinion may be. And I've seen some people on Twitter, oh, she's a bigot. Oh, there's plenty of Harry Potter stuff out there. You don't have to watch this. She's a bigot. First of all, if you're doing anything with Harry Potter, JK Rowling is getting a paycheck from it. So unless you're going to completely get Harry Potter out of your life, if you do anything with Harry Potter, she's getting a piece of the action.
Yeah.
Okay, which is why she's super rich. Yep. But she's almost like a female version of Donald Trump in this regard. She seems to be uncancelable as she dodges this bullet. And this is a group of people that if you speak out against, or rather not necessarily against them, but if you don't fall all the way in line, you're transphobic, you're a bigot, you're this, that, and the other thing. JK has said, I've seen some of her stuff back then in 2020 when I was looking into it today. She very much tweeted that she supports trans people and trans friends and this, that, and the other thing. And at a time when we have people on Capitol Hill are going back and forth about who can use the restroom, JK Rowling and HBO are keeping the team together, and HBO doesn't fold. So I want to just commend HBO for allowing JK Rowling to be a part of this TV series, because at the end of the day, they're her characters and they're her works, and she should be allowed to be involved in this project.
Yeah, and if it was Disney,
Should be out.
She would have been out a long
Oh, yeah,
time
she
ago.
would have been out a long time ago.
But
they would have scrubbed her name from the book.
and I hope, which I know it won't, but I hope in 10 years we'll look back on these times and we'll be like, why were we fighting about men and women? If you have a penis, you're a man. If you have a vagina, you're a woman. And just because you replace those parts or cut off your breasts or take hormones and this and that, it doesn't make you the opposite sex. A trans woman is not a woman. You'll never be a woman, whether you like to or not. And I don't care if you want to do that and play dress up and cut off your dick and be a woman. Fine, sure, go ahead, do it. I don't give a shit. But you're not a woman. You don't give birth. You don't have periods. Okay, you're not a woman.
Yeah, that was like the big thing. I believe JK was talking about something about menstruating, and a lot of the interactions and replies to her where menstruation doesn't equal woman because men can menstruate. And I'm like, wait a minute. I have never menstruated in my life.
I haven't been to biology class since high school, but I'm pretty sure I haven't bled out of my vagina.
I don't menstruate. How could a man menstruate? How? I've been a man for 41 years. I've never once menstruated.
You know why? Because you don't have any ovaries.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why.
So then how could a man menstruate?
They can't.
Okay.
But science, this
We
is
need somebody on this show that's like a trans person who could explain it to us.
they can't. They won't.
Maybe that's what we need.
But they won't.
I feel like if you have to put the word trans in front of it, like you're not a man or a woman, if you have to put the trans, I'm a trans man. Do they do that? Do they call themselves that, or do they just refer to themselves as I'm a man?
They use their pronouns. They're like, my pronouns are he, him. Okay, but you're not. You could be a he, him. Sure, you could be whatever you want. I
saw a video today. It was a TikTok. It was on Twitter. I saw a TikTok on Twitter. The guy has a beard.
Yeah.
He's wearing some kind of, I feel like maybe it was a lemon dress. And it was like at his chest. It was a little dress. Maybe it was a lemon dress. He has a beard. He has all this body hair sticking out. Like he's one of them like hairy ape motherfucker dudes, right?
Yeah.
All of this man hair sticking out. And he's talking about how he's a woman. And I'm watching this video and I'm like, how can this be considered a fucking normal behavior? If you want to dress like that and you want to be a man who dresses like a woman, that's fine. They've been doing that for hundreds of centuries.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drag queens have been around for years.
Centuries. They used to do it like on a kayfabe deal, right? Because nobody could know because it used to be taboo.
Yeah. Nobody can know you're real who you are, but you were some
now
name.
It's far more socially acceptable. But that doesn't make you a woman because you wear women's clothing.
Yeah.
That's the part that makes me go, you're not even, like, this dude's not even trying.
Yeah.
He's not even shaving the hair off. He's got a fucking beard.
That's the mental illness in this country.
You're not even try. If you want me to look at you and go, oh, that's a woman, you need to try. Okay, bearded women used to be a thing in the circus.
I mean, there are trans women that at first glance, I would think they're a woman.
Oh, yeah, there's some dime pieces.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm like...
Because they try.
And I'm like... And then, like, oh, damn, you're pretty cute. And then it's, oh, no, that's a man. I'm like, oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
They tried.
Now that you mention it, I could see the Adam's apple.
Yeah, that you try. Like, I wouldn't know the difference. But if I go up to one of them and say, hey, ma'am, and they're all happy because I call them ma'am, I don't see a man unless I really look deep. But if you're bearded and you got hair all over and you're like, hi guys, and I'm like, oh hey, how's it going, sir? And then you get pissed at me because I called you sir because I mispronounced you. I'm sorry, but you don't look like a fucking woman. I don't give a fuck if your pronouns are she. You're not a woman.
I understand that it's one of those things where, these are called social norms.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that the social norms aren't on your mental disorder. Like, I understand it. I get it. If I was in your shoes, I would probably be angry too. But grown-ass men probably shouldn't be using the women's restroom.
No.
I mean, whatever. You want to make it gender neutral and make everybody have 3 restrooms? You'll have a gender neutral one, and then you have the men and the women? Because at the end of the day, there's more people like you and more people like I that are not on this. They don't act like this and do these sorts of things than there are for them. So why are we going to change our lives to cater to such a small minority? Now, I know the numbers are growing because
people
it's
are getting brainwashed,
jammed down your throat.
Yeah.
So I know the numbers are growing. Hey, there's more trans people than ever before. And it's, I wonder how and why. It's not because it's not necessarily because, and maybe it is a little bit about, it's become a little more socially acceptable because it has.
Yeah.
And I don't care if you want to play dress up. But at the end of the day, unless you start chopping some things off and really trying hard, at the end of the day, you're just playing dress up.
Yes.
But again, I don't care. You can do what you want to do. You got to make this, got to really stress this. I don't want people to think that I'm transphobic or a bigot, but you got to put some effort in, put a little elbow grease in, shave your beard, try a little harder. That's all I'm saying.
It's just so funny that people that are like, oh, the science, like with COVID, right? Wear a mask. Oh, the science says to wear a mask. The science. You're pushing science, which was bullshit to begin with, about masks and stuff. But then then the same sense, you're like, oh, but I was born a male, but I'm really a female. Like you contradict yourself. And women in sports, and what I don't understand is the Me Too movement, it happened, right? Matt Lauer and a bunch of other, Matt Lauer is just the top one that I know of that got canceled because of he said something about a woman or something or whatever it was. And so the Me Too movement happened. What happened to the Me Too movement? Now it's, oh, you identify as a woman? Hey, good. You could be on the girls' basketball team, but you're really a man.
Yeah, I know that's a little weird too. And I know it's a hot button topic right now because Trump has campaigned on getting men out of women's sports. And at the end of the day, the male athlete, I should just walk that back. Men in general are built differently than women.
Yes.
A man who's not even, let's just say he's outweighed by a woman by 20 pounds. Let's just say they're normal people. Let's just say they're not bodybuilders, right? Mm-hmm. A normal man and a normal woman, even if that woman outweighs him by 20 pounds, he's probably stronger than her.
Yes.
Because the strength is just different.
The strength's in different areas.
They're
Men have more upper body strength.
Yes, it's just different. Like my wife, she likes to joke around. And the other day she's like, oh, I could take you. And I go, do you really think you can? She goes, no. Of course not.
No.
Of course not.
Why do you think they separated the sports? Women fought for getting their own sports. And now, because I myself or whoever decides, you know what? I suck. I can't make the men's baseball team. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go out for the women's softball team. And you know why I'll make that team? Because I'm better than everyone on the field.
Even if I'm half as talented.
Correct, but I'm better than everybody else on the field because I can hit a softball a lot farther than some of these women.
Could run faster, probably.
Yeah, not me personally,
not
guys.
You, definitely
easy.
You.
I can't run anything. But somebody in high school that could do that, and it's okay, but we have to let them play because they identify as a woman.
It's weird. But it is weird. The chicks burned the bras, like you said. They burned the bras. They got their own sports leagues. And
Because what changes from some shitty dude in the NBA?
I would love for this to happen in real life.
Yeah.
I would, instead of being at a collegiate high school level, I want to see it at a pro level.
Yeah. That dude that couldn't make it in the NBA, but a really good college player, let's say.
Do you think Lonzo Ball could stay healthy if he joined the WNBA?
Yeah, and he'd probably score 80 points a night.
Yeah.
Because you know what? He'd be shooting threes all day because he'd be towering over every other woman, except a few of them. There are
a few tall ones.
Yes, but otherwise they're shorter.
Yeah. Even then, he would body them.
Yeah.
He would just, even if they're taller than him, he's gonna body them.
Yeah.
Even on a bad ankle.
So I think that is what needs to happen. Some male in some professional sport, be it football, basketball, baseball, hockey, something. We got it a little bit with the Olympics.
And
then it came out that the dude that won tested positive. He does have balls. He does have a dick. Like it came out that he was a complete dude. But somebody needs to get in one of these major sports and show, and then it's on display. Now you can say unequivocally that this is why. Do you think the WNBA is going to let some dude in that league? No, because the WNBA is meant for women. They fought for their own league.
It doesn't make any money, but all right, let's go to Vegas's picks so we get out of here.
Oh, God, we're getting out of here already. It's already time to go, ladies and gentlemen. This week, I'm 18-15. I've taken a few steps back recently because I've trusted some teams that I shouldn't have. But I'm going to make amends this week, everybody. This is my picks for week number 12 in the NFL. The Chiefs are visiting Carolina. They are terrible. Carolina is, even though they've been a little bit better since changing quarterbacks, but they're all over the place. Chiefs are minus 10.5. I expect this to get larger as we get closer to game day on Sunday. But right now, if you're betting Chiefs minus 10.5, take the Chiefs. Now, I should have bet Detroit minus 14.5 last week, as Ford texted me and said, you're a dumbass, because that was the easiest lock of the day.
I did.
I don't like double-digit favorites because it's the NFL and it's any given Sunday. However, this week, they aren't double-digit favorites. They're only 7.5 point favorites against the Indianapolis Colts. They're not very good. They are at home, but I still think Detroit takes care of them because I do think Detroit is the class of the NFC. And the third pick, Denver. Bo Nix, what the hell happened to the Broncos, bro? Bo Nix comes in, and he's just dominating right now. They're going against the Las Vegas Raiders. I almost call them Los Angeles Raiders. That would have been weird. But the Vegas Raiders, Denver's minus 6, so take Denver and the points. So to recap, NFL week number 12 picks. The first, Chiefs minus 10.5 against Carolina Panthers. Second, Detroit minus 7.5 against the Indianapolis Colts. And the third pick, Denver minus 6 against the Las Vegas Raiders.
All right, for Joey Vegas, we'll see you guys. We'll see him and I will see you guys in a couple of weeks. You'll see me next week, mostly by myself. Maybe I can squeeze in a couple of solo shows. You can leave this show a voicemail, 813-485-4130. That's the number for now until I change it. You can email us, fordfeedback@gmail.com. I do read every email. The shirt that I'm wearing, Heels Wear Pink, you can buy it right now at buyfordmerch.com. Help support the show. $3 a month is as little as all it takes to put food in Joey Vegas's mouth. Patreon.com/Ford Podcast. And you can watch this show on YouTube at Ford Podcast. And the videos are also on Spotify as well. Joey Vegas, I hope you have a great cruise.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
Don't hurt yourself. Come back in one piece.
Try.
And everybody else, I'll see you guys before Thanksgiving. I will do something by myself before we celebrate Turkey Day. For Joey Vegas, I'm Ford. We'll see you guys next week.
Good night, jabroni marks without a life that don't know if it's a work when you work a work and work yourself into a shoot. Marks.
See ya!